Welcome back, guys. The truck is home and it's a little heavier now, but for good reason. This cage turned out incredible. So for those of you that didn't know, the truck got sent out for an 8.50 Cert cage, and I took it to Smith Performance in Cayuga, Ontario, and FJ, Fred, the owner, him and his guy knocked this out in about a week and a half, and I mean, I have zero complaints with the way this turned out. Like, just look at the welds. The fitment, everything on this cage had to be made custom because there really is no kit for a 46 Chevy. You know, and they made everything tight. Everything fits tight. Even notched it into the dash piece here. There's still a dash that clips over this, but they recessed it right up tight inside, as close to the windshield as possible. The 46 Chevys have a piece of hardwood that actually connects the floor together, the front half and the back. So where I was kind of wondering how they were going to get around that, and you know, they got around it. They went right down through the dash and just in front of it. They end up having to, because the frame is so narrow and the cage had to be so wide, they had to put outriggers on, and they actually cut them and put them right into the floor and weld the floor to the outriggers. And you see underneath, there's another bar here. There's the outriggers tied right into the frame, tied into the floor. Everything's tied together. The X on the back, when you're dealing with a company that's been doing this kind of work for 50 years, you really got to listen to the guy. And he has his way of doing stuff because it's proven to work, and they know a lot more about this than I do. But when it came to the X at the back, what their shop likes to do, because it works, is to bring a bar from the hoop over here down on an angle and tie into the frame about here. So there'll be a bar going up on an angle. That helps with if the truck was ever in a rollover. If the top corner of the cab got hit, it's going to want to shift the whole cab over, basically making like a parallelogram. And by having a bar go up on an angle, right, it prevents the cab from being shifted one way or the other. But I didn't want to bring another set of bars off the frame because I have to build like a tonneau cover on here, and to have one more set of bars to work around is just going to be a pain in the butt. So I wanted the X to come off of the down bars back here, but he wanted the top to tie in as close to the hoop as possible. So that's why it's tied in up here. So when you look at it from the side, you can see, you know, it's not just flat. You see a lot of trucks that have an X inside the down bars. My X comes out and ties in up here. So it's a little different, but I'm liking how different it is. Like when I sit back here and look at it, it just looks like there's more going on, and I like it. It's unique. I haven't seen many other trucks like that, if any. So, and then I had them put a window net in. Quickly drops down, and my window crank and everything is still functional. Just did a fantastic job. This bar I had them add. It's not required for an 8.50 Cert, but I had them put it in there because I plan on mounting my parachute handle to that. So I can sit up and like I can just swing it forward with it there. Because with it being a small cab, there's not a lot of room for stuff. And my switch panel is going to occupy this area here, so I have to put a parachute handle somewhere, and that's kind of where I was thinking I wanted it. But yeah, just a quick update on the progress of this. I already put the box back on, so it looks more like a truck. But yeah, just everything looks so clean. Everything's nice, and this is full chromoly. Everything's chromoly, so it kept the weight to a minimum, and I'm thrilled. It's perfect. A little harder to get in and out of now, but every race car is. So that's just a quick little update. Now we really start to get throwing stuff in here. Now, as helpful as these wheels have been throughout this this build, it's time for them to go. My new rims and tires have finally come in. So what better time to switch them out than now? And we can keep getting this thing closer to its ride height and overall appearance. So we're done with the rusties. Like a race car yet? Kind of. So the rims are nothing special. I like them though. They do look a lot like the Weld wheels. These are just the Jag's SSR Spike rims. 17 by 4.5 in the front, 15 by 10 in the rear. I'm opting not to run the center cap. The front didn't really give me a choice because the Wilwood spindle sticks out further than the cap does, so I can't run the cap anyway. I was debating on not running the cap at all because I kind of like the look of the Wilwood spindle sticking through the hub. So yeah, we're gonna leave it like that. And the rears, since the front doesn't have the center cap, I decided no center cap on the rears either. So that's the 15 by 10, and I think it's I think I went with a 5.5 or 6.5 inch back spacing. I can't remember, but I've got about 1.5 to 2 inches between the inside of the wall of the tire and the bed of the truck. So I think I guessed correctly with my spacing there. So on the back we got some ET Street SS's. Mickey Thompson, drag radial. The fronts. These fronts took forever to get. Those tires are extremely hard to come by, and I mean, this was almost 6 months of wait time to get these tires. And yeah, it's the Sportsman SRs, and the Sportsman SRs are just extremely hard to get. I actually ended up getting another set of tires that if all else fails, I was going to run these. Even these were hard to get, but now I'll have to sell those off because I got the ones I want. Because this is an open wheeled car, you see the tires all the time. They're not hidden. And I just love the directional pattern these things have. I think they look really, really good. And they fit the wheel really nice. But yeah, we have a hot rod. Looks a little better than these wheels. But now the truck also has a little bit more of a rake to it. I mean, those wheels were 29 inches tall. This is 26 inches tall. So the front end, you know, essentially dropped 1.5 inches. And then those are 28s. We're running a 10.5 by 28 on the rear. So the rear end of the truck just dropped 1/2 inch. The front dropped 1.5 inches. Kind of get a better idea as what the ride height's going to be. But we still don't have any weight in it yet. So between the cage and the wheels, definitely looks more like a race car now. We got to get that guy in next. But that's it for today. It's looking good. I love it. Till next time, see ya.